Welcome back, you beautiful people. Don't you just hate it when you're riding down the trail and your bike decides to break down on you? Well, here's some tips on how to fix your bike on the trail side. Whoa, something's not quite right. What's wrong with my bike? It's like a knock, 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 knock noise. Knock, 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 knock. Oh, what's that? Oh my, that's loose. Right, when it comes to knocking noise on the trail, especially on the front end, that could definitely be your headset, but you want to look around just to eliminate where that noise is coming from. It could be your hub, could be your front wheel that's a little bit loose, or it could be internal in your forks if you're running a fork that's quite old and well used. That could knock a bit as well, but for me, I found out that was my headset. Now, quick fix for this is just to stop on the side of the trail, look at it, get your Allen keys out. I got my little multi-tool here. And some headsets it's a 4mm and a 5mm on top, or it could be 4 and 4, or it could be a Torx bit there, which would be a T25, and then a 4 or 5 on top Allen key. For me, it's a 4 and a 5. Now, catching this early on instead of later on could save you a little bit of money, because you could destroy your headset very quickly in a short amount of time. So stopping and tightening it up is going to help you. Well, it's going to maintain your bike, fix it, and also it's going to eliminate that horrible noise that everyone dislikes, the loose headset. I hate it. You don't want to tighten your headset too tight, because if you bring in those cups too much together, you're going to squish those bearings and it's going to make your steering a little bit stiffer. And if it starts to stiffen up, you know you've done it too tight. Or just follow those torque settings. Right, that's done it. Quick fix on the trail. See you at the bottom. What the hell? My bike feels like it's dragging, and there's a funny noise coming at the front of my bike. What the flipping heck is going on? It's like, oh, that's warm. That's warm. When you're riding down the trail or climbing or just going down the fire road and you hear a funny noise, like a little thing, 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 thing noise, that, my friends, is something wrong with your brakes. Or if it feels like you're pedaling through treacle, like that chap there was doing, coming up, he was like, something's binding. It's probably got to do with your brakes. So now get off the trail, get your multi-tool, and you just want to double check your brakes on the front, and you can see the disc, well, the caliper is more shifted over to the right. So that means my caliper is out of line. Now, what you want to do is get your multi-tool, get your 5mm Allen key, and what you want to do is just loosen off that caliper. And by loosening it off, what you're going to do is you're going to have like a free flow, like free standing caliper. Look at that, that's loose now. Right, little pro tip. Just lift your bike off the ground, spin the front wheel, hit the front brake, hold the front brake in, and then tighten up your caliper. But don't just tighten up one bolt at a time. You want to do it in sync. So do a little bit on the top, a little bit on the bottom, then again at the top, then a little bit at the bottom. So tighten it up a little bit. And what you'll find is when you lift the front wheel up, it's going to spin nice and smoothly. Look at that. Now the disc is in line with my caliper is in line with my disc. Now if you've done that and it's still rubbing and still making that little shing 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 noise, then what you want to do is get a plastic tire lever, take your front wheel out, push the tire lever in there and just prise open your pads a little bit, just to open up that gap for your disc to fit in. And if that's exactly the same thing if it was to be binding still, push in something plastic in there and prise it open a little bit, then put your wheel back in, give your brake a little push, and hopefully that would have eliminated that shing 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 noise. For some of us, lack of maintenance does happen occasionally. Like for myself, for instance, I don't really spend too much time maintaining the bike. I love to ride the bike more than I would like to spend time maintaining the bike. Now, when it comes to gears, well, that's my arch enemy. I hate that. If you haven't had the chance to change that inner gear cable, then you're in for a treat when it comes to the trail. Why? Because when you're out there and you snap that gear cable, well, it's gonna get a little bit more interesting. You're a bit of a pickle, aren't you? But there's a few ways you can get around this, and it's time to turn that bike of yours into a single speed gear. Now, when it comes to a snapped gear cable, which is pretty horrible, what you want to do is you want to remove that inner cable that is in your bike, that one that's snapped. You want to take it all the way out, but you want to leave your external routed cable there. You don't want to take that off. Okay, so I've taken my inner cable out. It looks like this. I've tucked that inside my chain guide there, like my chain stay protector. Now what you want to do right here is you want to run this in the opposite direction that you would have taken it out. So I'm going to be running this end through there, just like that. Feed it all the way through, because this little bit right here is going to go inside there and it's going to stop it from pulling itself out. So that goes in there like that. And you're going to feed this around that bolt, and you get to tighten up the cable. Like that, because this is the old cable, it's snapped up and stuff, just like that. Now, this is the time you want to choose the right gear for you, so you can move your derailleur in any way you want. I want it in the middle of my block. I don't want it too low, and I don't want it too high. Obviously, if you're at the bottom of the hill and you get to the top, you're going to put it up near the top, so you can pedal up the hill. But for me, I'm going to go in the middle because it's up and down where I am right now. You get your Allen key, your multi-tool. I'm going to move that to about center of the block, about there. Keep some tension on that cable. Keep that in line. And then you want to tighten up this bolt. Just like that. See, now you've got your snap cable, you've got gears. Now that, my friends, is a good trailside hack to get you back home or to the trailhead. So there you go, some quick fixes on the side of the trail if you get into a little bit of a predicament out there and you need to get home, or you just want to keep on shredding, man. If I've missed out any and you've got a few rad ones, let other people know and let us know how you fix your bike in the comment section down below. If you want to like, subscribe and do all that rad jazz, do that, all on screen. Also follow us on our social media of your choice. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya.